What's up guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be checking out the Slypod E. MOZA actually sent this out to me for review and today I'm testing it. This is kind of my first experience with it and I kind of wanted to go in with it blind. So I have absolutely no idea what this thing can do. All I know is it's a monopod and a slider combined in one. So let's jump into it. So this is the Slypod E. What is it? Well, basically it's a monopod and a slider all in one. You can use it in this vertical configuration, and if you press this plus button, watch what happens. Imagine you have a camera on top of there. Well, this whole thing's gonna move up. Now, it's not just a monopod. You can also configure this in a horizontal position like this and screw this into a tripod that you have and you can get slider movements. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1. So here's my 2 cents. I've done a lot of testing with this up on that little hill up there, and honestly it's incredible. For its small form factor, it's great. I can just pick this thing up and go with me. It's incredible because this thing is lightweight and it's only $300. So for $300, you can get a lot of motion in your shots without even trying. Because I shot that whole intro sequence just using the Slypod. So my only gripe with this thing using it right away is this tiny little tripod down here. Just imagine that you have a $3,000 camera up here on top and it's a windy day. That is not gonna hold it. What I would recommend is actually to put, if you're doing it in vertical mode, put it on a tripod like that thing. That thing's all metal and I got it for 50 bucks at a camera store. Super sturdy. All the vertical shots I did are using their standard base tripod because I wanted to test it out. And it's a really windy day, and once you have some weight up here, it really doesn't sway that much. It's just something that scares me. And to quickly show you how I actually shoot in horizontal mode, I'll put it on this tripod here. All right, so the Slypod is now on this tripod and I can pretty much get any shot that I want. This tripod's really low to the ground, so it's not gonna tip over at all. And the great thing is I can adjust these legs however I would like to get a different angle on the Slypod and really customize my shot however I want. One thing I would recommend right away, to get a little adapter so you can actually use any tripod head you would like, so you can get more dynamic shots. Now, I know there's an app. However, when I am shooting, I don't want to have to rely on an app. So this is a huge pro for me. When you are shooting out in the wild, you don't even need the app. There's a plus and a minus button right here. If you click the minus button, it starts to move so slow. But the more you click the minus button, it increases in speed. When I'm out in the field, I don't have to rely on the app. All I need is the actual Slypod and I can get my shot. And it's great because it's lightweight. I can just pick this up and walk wherever I want. So for my own personal use, this little Slypod is smaller than my actual monopod, and I can use it as a monopod to hold my camera to get shots, and I can also use it as a dynamic slider to get these cinematic sequences when I'm shooting all by myself. For example, I was up top there and I was shooting and I saw all these groundhogs, I think they're called, and I was shooting it and I just had the Slypod. So all I did was shoot it one time using the monopod feature, no slider, and I got my steady shot. But then I'm like, hey, let me just pull out these tripod legs, set it up vertical mode, and get this track shot up, and it worked out great. Like, the fact that I can do that so quickly is amazing, and it just goes to show that I can theoretically use this thing in a fast-paced scenario, which is how I work. So I'm gonna keep getting some shots with this thing, and I'm probably gonna go down there by the water and get some side tracking shots to get a nice clip of the lake. But I wanted to tell you my one gripe with this. If you're a documentary filmmaker and you rely on actual sound and not putting music over your clips, then this thing is kind of loud. So as you can see, it's kind of loud, and it's not a big issue for me because I'm not really going to use the in-camera audio that much, but I know some of you guys might, so it's definitely something to take into account. So it works great. I mean, right now I'm doing a slow slider shot, and it's so smooth. What I want to pay attention to is the jitter. Is there any jitter right now? I mean, the camera's moving. I can't tell, it's so far away. What do you guys think? This thing's gonna be incredible because I can literally just take it with me and get some more dynamic shots than I previously couldn't have when I'm shooting solo, because most of my stuff is solo. So that was the side track setup. As you can just see, it's fully extended. But now the best thing about it is, since this is a square, I can basically turn my camera like this and get a punch-in shot. So let's try that out. I'm actually punching out now, and it looks great. I'm so excited to use this on projects and just see kind of like how I can use it in my everyday life. I definitely think it's gonna be a nice little companion when you're traveling. Alright, so here's something I wanted to let you guys know. The thing on the left is the monopod that I've been using for the past year, and it's a little bit taller than the Slypod. Now, this thing extends a lot taller than the Slypod, but this guy is motorized and gives me a lot more versatility when I'm in the field. I think I would choose the Slypod, just for the mere factor that it's motorized and will allow me to get a little bit more dynamic shots. Again, I know they have an app, but I am never a huge app guy. The app allows you to pair this with your Aircross 2, and you can really get some dynamic motion when you do that. But ultimately, I'm flying a drone, I'm using my phone. I don't want to have to use my phone to control this thing. The fact that I can just turn this thing on and use these buttons down here to control the actual Slypod is pretty incredible. The possibilities are endless with this. Basically, it's a monopod that can go up and down and a slider that can go back and forth. So you can kind of get creative with your own shots, and I know I've had a blast out here today, but ultimately it's about what you would use this for. If you find value in it, pick one up, because I seriously, I mean this when I say it, it's a fun little guy and it's so small. You can carry this with you anywhere and get some dynamic shots when you're shooting by yourself.